Welcome to the Vibrant Communities social media training sessions. Let's conclude by looking how we safely manage our social media accounts.
Hi and welcome to the social media training module brought to you by Vibrant Communities. I'm Lucinda McGovern and I'm the Service Support Coordinator for Vibrant Communities with responsibility for managing our social media platforms.
My name is Kieran Wardrop. I'm one of the community workers based in the Vibrant Communities Service of East Ayrshire Council. In this module we are going to explore how to safely manage your social media platforms. It's important to differentiate between your personal identity online and the identity of your organisation. I have a rule with my Facebook profile, for example. Nobody should be able to look at that and be able to work out where I work, what my political views are, or anything else that may impact my integrity as an employee of the council or as a representative of any voluntary or community group. Whereas on my Twitter profile, I make it clear that this account is mainly used for work. Now, when I post on any of the Vibrant Community profiles on social media, people should not be able to tell it's me, or anyone else for that matter. They should be able to see the identity of the organisation. If we use our personal account to promote the organisation, people can get confused and you're more open to challenge. That's why we would always recommend a Facebook page over a group or personal profile for your organisation. On the other platforms, we would always encourage an account in the name of your organisation and used for nothing but promoting that organisation. Even like me, if you have nothing identifying you to the organisations you represent on your personal profile, you must always remember that you represent that organisation as an employee, office bearer, volunteer. You still have to take that into consideration on your personal profile.
So how do you make it easy for people to understand? It's always best to have a policy or guideline underpinning how your organisation is going to use social media. That way everyone is clear on what to expect and how to act when representing the organisation online.
So how do you go about writing a policy or guideline? Well, it might be helpful to start with these 4 questions. Why, what, who, and how. Think about why you're using social media. What's the big purpose or the ultimate goal for doing so? Is it to speak to your current audience or try and grow a potential new one? Is it to share information about what your organisation does? Any success stories? Is it to do some sort of engagement, interaction or consultation with people? Or is it there as a brand or an image booster for the good things that your organisation or group does? Once you've figured out why you want to use social media, it's a bit easier to work out what social media platform is best. Now, we've focused on 4: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. There are many, many more that you can research and explore. But what we need to remember is our social media platform and presence works best when we really understand the platform and we can continue to add new and exciting content to it. So we know why we want to use social media and we've got a good idea of what platforms we're planning to use, but who's actually going to be responsible for managing the social media platform? Now, it's always best to have at least 2 people. If someone is away on holiday or is unwell or is unable to assist at a particular time, you always want at least one other person there to help out where they can. On the other hand though, you don't want too many people. Consistency is key. You need to have people consistently putting the brand identity across. You also need to think about who is trustworthy brand ambassadors Who can you trust to post and keep to the guidelines that are in place? So we know why we're using social media, what platforms we're using, and who's actually going to do it. Now we need to think about how we're managing our social media platform. Now you've maybe had a chance to look at the how-to tips that we spoke about in previous videos, but this is thinking about how we're actually going to conduct ourselves on that platform. So quite often we would have a guideline, a policy or a strategy in place. We would have separate login accounts for our personal account and our organisations. There would be agreements in place about what content we're going to put up, maybe how often we're going to post, and also how we're going to engage with people online. There may also be an element of consequences if people don't follow the processes that are in place.
You only need to scroll through social media for 10 minutes to see arguments and even in some cases abusive messages. So how do you protect yourself, your colleagues, your business from this? The truth is you cannot 100% protect yourself from this, but there's certainly ways to mitigate it. On this slide you can see some principles for navigating your way through social media. So for one, be factual, be consistent, be responsive, be integrated, be representative, and be respectful.
Now it's important to remember that your organisation can be held legally responsible for something that's published on one of their social media platforms under the name of the organisation. The same laws apply online that do in real life. For example, copywriting, safeguarding, data protection. Defamation is also something to consider, and that means that the onus is on the person or the group making the statement to establish its truth. It's best not to put hearsay or rumour, and always think about the question, is this my story to tell? Even if you post something and find out that it's inaccurate, you can never truly delete what's been posted, as someone might have taken a screenshot or a photo of what's gone up in the organisation's name.
Here's some guidelines for you. Remember to double check that you're posting from your business or organisation's account before hitting send. If the information that you're posting doesn't belong to you, get permission or credit the original source. You should participate online as you would in any other real world situation. Emotions, attitude and humour can't always be picked up through text, so be careful with phrasings.
We've reached the end of our training today, so let's leave you with some top tips. It's always best to use the platforms that you understand and that you can add valuable and continuous content to. It's always best to appeal to your audience's key motivation, which is usually to connect with each other. It's best to keep the message simple and appeal to positive emotions like inspiration, illumination, or amusement. It's also quite helpful to embed a sense of urgency, as it's more likely that people will read the post. It's always best to listen and establish credibility with an online community. Remember, people interact online in the same way that they do in person. Sometimes it takes a while for people to build that relationship and trust what's being posted from the organisation. If there's 3 key words that you're taking away today, it's inform, listen, and engage.
This brings a close to the final social media training video. You can find the rest of these videos on the Vibrant Communities YouTube channel. Vibrant Communities offers one-to-one and group training sessions on social media where we can go into the content of this course in more detail. Please feel free to contact us on the details provided to organise this.
Thank you for joining us on our sessions on social media training. For more information about Vibrant Communities or the work of the Communities team, please check out the following links.